State of New California notice to all Californians. Grievance 37, January 5th, 2021. New California is a new state in development exercising its constitutional right to form on the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Sections 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state, provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Sections 3 and Section 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. New California Declaration of Independence of January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive in it, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Preamble. The New California State Constitution states, we, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity. First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The counties of New California State brought forward 95 Chapter 1 grievances between January 2018 and November 2019. On April 28, 2020, New California State will issue 95 additional Chapter 2 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. State of New California, Grievance 37. The people of Declaration of Grievance Facts. Declaration of Grievance Statement of Facts. Declaration of Grievance Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government violates the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive, when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. United States Constitution, Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. First Amendment, United States Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. 14th Amendment, United States Constitution. Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress, or as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any Senate legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Order of the day. Dictator uses martial law on American citizens. The state is in martial law. From the Orange County Register. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines emergency as an unforeseen combination of circumstances or the resulting state that calls for immediate action. California law defines state of emergency as the duly proclaimed existence of conditions of disaster or of extreme peril to the safety of persons and property within the state. By definition, an emergency isn't permanent. If the terms disaster and extreme peril are to have any meaning, they can't apply to the day-to-day risk of living. The California Emergency Services Act, CSEA, defines local emergency as well as state of emergency, and it specifically limits the length of time that a local emergency declaration can be enforced. The March 4, 2020 Declaration of Emergency waived those time limits because in 2015 the California legislature, with the help of the then governor, dropped the requirement in the CSEA to limit the governor's emergency power to 30 days. How strange the 2015 legislature would take the time to change the CSEA for no reason. Since March 4, 2020, the California governor has been an official dictator. The definition of a dictator by Oxford Dictionary, quote, a ruler with total power over a country, typically one who has obtained control by force, end quote. The California governor has obtained power by the force of fear, utilizing a compliant media, pseudosciences, corrupt monoparty system, local officials, and statewide government agencies. The governor has become a classic dictator who is destroying the state and its people through martial law. Using incremental stages of implementation of martial law, the governor started with the use of emergency powers as he declared for himself one-man rule. Next came the masking, then the closures of schools, churches, business, travel restrictions, curfews, releasing of convicted felons, and lockdown of entire counties in the largest state in the nation. Martial law as defined by the Free Dictionary. Martial law as defined by the Free Dictionary is defined, quote, a system of complete control by a country's military over all activities, including civilian, in a theoretical or actual war zone, or during a period of emergency caused by a disaster such as an earthquake or flood, with the military commander having dictatorial power, end quote. It's apparent California is now in a new war zone of the world declared by the current governor. This is why it is essential the President of the United States utilize the Insurrection Act of 1807 to stop the corruption and the communist foreign influence that has destroyed the California Republic. Now the corruption has started here in California and swept through the entire nation and now threatens the very survival of the United States. We have no representation in rural California, which comprises most of the landmass and half the population. The rest of rural America will fall to this tyranny if not checked. The International Emergency Economic Powers Act can be primarily used for the white-collar traders, financial institutions, and whoever has financial fingerprints on dirty deals with the enemy. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is also very broad and gives the president more leeway. Without doubt, it can be applied to not just corporations and CEOs and those with demonstrable financial ties to our enemies, but can be useful in the type of dragnet that will be necessary to win the upcoming conflict, whereby Antifa, BLM, and others on the streets of America, as they can be treated as enemy combatants. California's officials have earned the title of domestic enemies. They oppose the rule of law, and at the same time they use the offices of public trust they occupy to slander and disaffect any citizen whose allegiance to the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights is to the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights. These domestic enemies have aligned themselves with foreign interests, financial as well as ideological, and are not fit to govern the United States citizens living within the territorial boundaries of the jurisdictions they control now by force of violence. By unquestioned authority and a unanimous opinion, the subjection of citizens to the rule of domestic enemies will not stand. A state of war exists between We, the people of the United States, and foreign and domestic enemies who are engaged in attempting to overthrow our elections and control public opinion through media racketeering and conspiracy right here in California. We ask the President to use the Insurrection Act and military tribunals to apprehend the criminals, collaborators, and traitors that are working in unison with the agenda of the Chinese Communist Party and other foreign interests to destroy this nation. Help us reclaim our citizenship and U.S. citizens by creating the 51st state. We, the people, are determined to stop the one-man rule of a pusillanimous, craven dictator whose words and actions are a grave danger to all U.S. citizens living in California. Insurrection. The government of California, the current socialist governor dictator, and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 and the Emergency Economic Powers Act are United States federal laws that govern the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion, acts of secession. The California government, in conjunction with its socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor dictator has usurped power, has actively engaged in acts of secession and have created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to succeed from the United States of America to thus destroy the very Union of States which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor dictator of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the citizens of the United States living in California state. Prayer. The citizens of New California State pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States citizens living in California State. This concludes these proceedings. NewCaliforniaState.com or NCS51.com, phone number 877-828-2753.